I'd use a little X-Acto knife, and then go to Kinko's, and then blow them up at 250 times, so it was full size. And then I would have maybe 20 that were my watch list for the week. Now I have 20 that's my watch list for the day, 75 for the week, or 100, whatever. So it did concentrate you more. And I would each day look at those stocks, and I would draw, at the end of the day, I would draw the new bar in and stay focused on it that way. That really,
It teaches you something new.
yeah, it really personalizes it more, even more so, because you're writing it down, and you're building the chart. You're part of it.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, Brian, I'd love to dive in now more into your trading style, and there's a lot to unpack there. We're going to cover rules. You prepared some case studies that we're going to go through as well, which will be great. But maybe just to start with, how would you describe your objective as a trader in a few sentences? How do you describe your overall style?
Okay, well, I'm a swing trader, swing trend trader, I guess you could say, because I never try to fight the trend. Every time I do, I seem to get burned. But I still try once in a while. I did.
We got to remind ourselves.
Yeah, we got to remind ourselves. And that's why I always say, you do dumb things, you get what you deserve. And it's true. I see people buying a stock, up 30% in 2 days. Sure, it could work, but don't be surprised, in these stocks with, 20% ATRs, and people are surprised that the stock goes down 10% in a day on them. It's like, well, that's half its average. What did you expect? Do you actually know what you're trading? So,
Bring you back to your overall style.
So my overall style, is swing trade with the trend using multiple time frames. My key tools are simple moving averages and the anchored volume weighted average price. My secondary tools are pivot levels. I do a little bit of Fibonacci and a little bit with volume, but really volume is more tied in with the VWAP, so I don't really rely on that much. Multiple time frames and trend alignment.
Excellent. And we're going to dive into each component of that. So that's awesome. To start with, volume weighted average price. This might be an entirely new concept to somebody watching this. And we're going to get to anchored volume weighted average price next. But what is volume weighted average price? How would you define it? And how is it calculated on multiple timeframes?
Okay. The volume weighted average price is basically the dollar cost average of every single share from a certain period. So if your daily VWAP measures from the very beginning of the day from 9:30, what you'll see is that first trade is 100 shares at $25.76. That's the VWAP right now. But obviously you've got 50,000 trades behind it. So it's a cumulative average. It sets, its anchor point for a daily is on that very first trade. And, on a 1 minute bar, you'll see it going up and down as the volume moves, and then it gets locked onto that 1 minute bar.